Welcome to the deep dive. Here we take the sources you send us, the things you're curious about, and really dig in to find the core stuff, the important bits.
Yeah, pull out what really matters.
Exactly. And today we're jumping into the story of Terplandia. It's a cannabis brand, and it's got these deep roots right here in Sacramento.
And our source for this is a really detailed piece from Nuggnotes.
Right. So the mission today is kind of figuring out how this brand came to be.
It's pretty fascinating, actually, seeing how, a personal path, someone just really dedicated, turns into this globally known brand.
Yeah, and we want to understand what makes Terplandia different, in a market that's super competitive.
And why I get so much respect from, like, serious cannabis fans, the real connoisseurs.
Okay, so let's kick it off at the start. The founder's backstory is, well, it's not typical for a cannabis brand owner, maybe.
Definitely not. A freight train graffiti artist.
Yeah, and a drywall finisher.
Yeah.
Out in West Sacramento.
Quite the mix.
It really is. And then the big shift seems to be 2008. That's when he starts this 22 light warehouse grow. Had a mentor involved, too.
Right. In that early phase, that sounds absolutely crucial. The Nuggnotes piece really emphasizes the skills he picked up then.
What kind of skills?
Well, really practical stuff. Organics, HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, plumbing, irrigation, basically everything you need to control the environment.
So not just putting seeds in soil.
Not at all. It's about mastering the whole system, creating this super precise space. And they connect that directly to what they call his perfectionist grower DNA.
Okay, I can see that. That attention to detail.
It's foundational.
And that perfectionism, it seems like it paid off pretty early on. The article mentions around 2010, he gets his hands on some, legendary genetics.
Yeah, huge names back then. Forum Cookies, BTY OG.
And he got these through some respected NorCal OG figures like Chris Cush.
Right. That whole era, they call it the plugs plug era, which tells you something,
What does that mean exactly, the plugs plug?
Well, think about it. Before everything was legal in retail, it was all about who you knew, your reputation. Being the plugs plug meant you were the trusted source for the sources. The guy even the dealers went to for the really good stuff.
Ah, okay. Top tier.
Top tier. And he got these nicknames like 9 and 16 Cookie Man or El Galletero, the cookie guy.
Ah, nice. So his reputation was spreading.
Totally. Just word of mouth, maybe some early Instagram stuff. Not big slashy ads, just people knowing his batches were special. Boutique quality.
Okay, then things start to ramp up. 2014, he goes out on his own.
Yeah, makes a big move. Sets up this hidden 3,000 square foot warehouse.
Hidden, so it's still kind of stealthy.
Oh, yeah. But inside, he's got advanced hydroponic systems.
Mm-hmm.
A big step up from the 22 lights.
Definitely a scale up.
It's a major transition, moving from that smaller boutique thing to much bigger capacity. But crucially, still keeping it quiet.
And it sounds like the quality didn't dip. The article mentions some big names noticing.
Right. People like Ted Lidie, Tyler from Alien Labs, they recognize how good these, quote, stealth grows were.
Wow. So even under the radar, the quality was speaking for itself.
Exactly. It wasn't just about getting bigger. That focus on quality was still absolutely central.
Which brings us to the name itself, Terplandia.
Yeah, interesting name, isn't it?
It is. The notes say it's a mix of his Mexican Raza identity and that super precise cultivation style.
Meaning the highest place on earth.
And symbolizing mastery of flavor, terpene mastery.
It's got a lot packed into it. It really captures the brand's core, doesn't it? That blend of heritage and just relentless quality in the grow. It's not just a catchy name. It feels like their philosophy.
Right. Very intentional. Then, 2015, this persona pops up. HeisenBern.
HeisenBern. Okay.
Yeah, it's a blend, apparently. Part graffiti roots. His tag was Burn One.
Make that.
Part Mexican heritage, and then a nod to, Breaking Bad. That kind of precision.
Like Walter White's meticulousness.
Exactly. It's a unique way to build a brand identity. Adds some intrigue.
It really does. Connects all these different parts of his story. And then there's BTY.
Right, the acronym. Stands for a few things.
3 things, yeah. Better than yours, which is pretty bold.
Definitely.
Then bless the Yeska being slang for weed.
Okay.
And also better than yesterday. Always improving.
So BTY really hammers home that commitment to being top tier.
Absolutely. It reinforces the whole Terplandia idea.
Right.
Quality, quality, quality.
Okay, now this next part is kind of cool. A bit of luck involved. The creation of BTY Fresa.
Ah, yes, the accidental icon.
Right. So basically random pollination happens. Just 2 seeds resulted.
Wow, only 2.
Yeah. And one of them turns out to be this amazing strawberry milk flavor profile, a specific phenotype, expression of the plant's genes.
And they didn't even realize it at first. Thought it was the bubble gum.
Apparently. But then they figured out, no, this is something unique, that strawberry milk thing.
Serendipity is amazing sometimes, but you also have to, recognize what you've got.
True. And then they collaborated with Bojapak.
Yeah. And that seems to have been key in getting Fresa out there, taking it from this, lucky accident.
To a global terp icon, as the notes say. Terps, of course, being those aroma compounds.
It really blew up. And the awards back it up.
Yeah.
Second place at Ego Clash in Barcelona in 23, third in Mendocino in 24. That's serious validation.
It shows it wasn't just hype, real quality. And it wasn't just Fresa either, right? They had other big winners.
Definitely not a one-hit wonder. BTY Z-Cube is another huge one for them, based on Skittles lineage.
How huge.
Over 10 awards, apparently, including first for Best Flavor and second overall at the Secret Session Cup in 2022, third at Transbay Challenge, second in Rosin at Lumpies. I mean, the list goes on.
Okay, so consistent award-winning stuff, that speaks volumes.
It really does. And they mentioned others, too, like Bazillo, Candy Gas Flavor, Carenta Uno, which is a Gelato 41 back cross.
41, nice.
Pura Pura OG, a classic OG Kush profile.
Yeah.
And Vaporu Bubba Kush crossed with, a menthol gas.
Interesting profiles. They're clearly not afraid to experiment while keeping that quality high.
It shows a real depth of understanding,
Yeah.
across different types of flavors and genetic lines.
And this quality, it's clearly resonating beyond California, beyond the U.S. even. They've expanded into Europe.
Yeah, that's a significant step. They've got a presence at Cannabis in Barcelona, which is huge. Also in Amsterdam with Chirp's Army, and the UK's Secret Session HQ.
So they're taking that Sacramento culture
and connecting it with the global scene, resin makers, top smokers
Nice.
Worldwide.
It shows that top-tier quality really does travel, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Doesn't matter where you are, people recognize the good stuff. It's kind of a universal language for those in the know.
Now, this next connection is, well, I didn't see this coming. The link to regional Mexican music.
Right. It's pretty unique. J.D., the singer from Herencia de Patrones.
They're from Yuba City, right? Close by.
Yeah. So he apparently encountered Terplandia, through smoking sessions. He just tried the product.
And liked it.
Liked it so much, he offered to write a corrido about it. A corrido being like a narrative folk ballad.
A corrido called HeisenBern, after the persona.
Exactly. Talk about organic marketing.
Seriously, how did that go over?
Huge impact, apparently, especially
Yeah.
within that specific cultural scene, the Mexican corrido audience. The music video on YouTube has over 2 million views.
2 million. Wow. That's incredible reach.
It's an amazing example of how, authentic connections can just explode, crossing high-end cannabis with this traditional music form. Brilliant, really.
And they're backstage at the concerts fully integrated.
Yeah, it's not just a song. It's a real relationship.
So through all this growth, this expansion, this unexpected fame, what's the core philosophy that kept them grounded?
It seems really consistent, actually. The notes keep coming back to it. Terpene integrity, keeping those flavors pure.
Solventless quality, so no chemical extraction methods for concentrates.
Right, smoothness, and that telltale sign of a clean burn, white ash.
And their mottos kind of sum it up: quality over clout.
And calidad garantizada, quality guaranteed.
That focus just seems unwavering.
And I think that's why they've built such a loyal following. In a market with so much noise and hype, they stick to the fundamentals of what makes cannabis good. That builds trust.
Yeah, it feels solid, which ties into their whole crafted, not corporate vibe.
Definitely. They talk about having this graffiti crew ethos.
Mm-hmm.
Loyalty, skill, not just chasing trends.
An outlaw culture, they call it.
Yeah. And their focus is clearly on the serious consumers, the real headies, as they put it. People who appreciate elite OGs, exotics, top shelf, solventless.
So no gimmicks, no shortcuts.
Exactly. They're sticking to that better than yours promise by actually delivering the quality consistently.
It all comes back to that. And that final description of Terplandia, the highest place on earth, this secret realm of flavor mastery, it really ties it all together.
It paints a picture, doesn't it, of dedication, craft, and maybe a little bit of mystique.
Okay, so let's sort of wrap this up. We've traced Terplandia's journey, right? From a Sacramento graffiti artist.
Drywall finisher.
Yeah, to this globally recognized name in cannabis, built on quality, that meticulous growing, and a really distinct cultural identity.
It's quite a story.
For me, the real aha moments were probably the BTY Fresa That lucky accident turning into something huge.
Yeah, it was cool.
And the Corrido connection. So unexpected, but so effective.
That cultural impact was massive.
And just that constant drumbeat of quality over clout, it really defines them.
I think if you look at the bigger picture, Terplandia's story really shows how, well, how passion and just grinding, paying attention to every little detail, and having those real cultural roots, how that can lead to something with unexpected global reach. It's not just about cannabis, it's about dedication, authenticity, building something special.
That's a great way to put it, really insightful. Okay, so to leave you with something to chew on.
Final thought.
Yeah. Thinking about Terplandia, starting with graffiti, drywall, moving into cannabis, what other passions, maybe things that seem niche or specific, what other areas might hold that same kind of potential for surprising, maybe even global impact if someone pursues them with that same level of dedication and commitment to being the best?
That's interesting. What hidden passions could blow up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Anyway, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.